Okay, time for a holiday video. It's gonna be 5 things you should know about LED Christmas lights. The first thing we should know is resistors. Now, not all strands have these, but a lot of them do. Can you spot them? Right here and right here. Now, I'm not 100% sure why these are in the strands, but I do know that these make the strands consume more power because the resistor is basically just eating up power. Number 2 is simply that despite these having a resistor, using more power that way, basically wasting power that way, you can connect more strands together because they do still use less energy than the regular incandescent strands. So that means you can safely connect more together. Number 3, and this is a very interesting one. The LED lights are actually going to be blinking or flashing. Okay, now I've got a strand of LED over here and regular incandescents over here. And usually to the naked eye you can't tell that the LEDs are blinking or flashing, but they are. So here comes a clip of slow motion where we can really see and tell that they're blinking. Okay, now before you go calling me a witch, realize that LED stands for light emitting diode, and your incandescent lights are just a resistor. Now, what does a light emitting diode have to do with anything? A diode only lets your current flow through it one way. So when you have AC current, like your house has, that means alternating current, which means it goes one way, flips back and goes the other way. Then it flips back and goes the other way. It keeps flipping back and forth. It's alternating. So your light emitting diode is only on about half the time when it's going the way that it'll go through. When it's going the other way, nothing. Now your incandescent lights, they're on mostly all the time because the current will go through them either way. Your light emitting diode prefers DC, where the current only goes one way. When it's going back and forth, it's only on part of the time. That's why you get the blinking. So if these really are blinking, why can't we just see it? That has to do with the current alternating at 60 hertz. That means it's alternating at 60 times a second, and these are blinking 60 times in a second. So it's a little bit fast for your eye to see, but if you look really closely, sometimes you can't see it. When it's slowed down at 1/8 the speed, it's blinking a lot, it looks like it's blinking a lot slower. Number 4 is the brightness. This goes along with number 3, the fact that they're blinking. This means that about half the time they're off, so about half the time they're not putting out any light. And as you might imagine, if your light is off half the time, it's not going to be as bright as it could be if it was on all the time. Now I would love to prove this, but I don't have any way to put that much DC current through these lights. So maybe for another day. I'd like to thank you if you're still watching. Number 5 is the color. Unlike incandescents, LEDs actually emit the color that they're supposed to be. These are just tinted red, probably so that uneducated consumers don't think they got ripped off. but there's an actual no need for them to be tinted red. Unlike these incandescents that emit white light and it's just the glass that is tinted color. Now, in case you didn't believe that, here is an obviously clear light. But what color is it going to light up? You might be able to guess this because of the base, but it lights up blue. It's because it's an LED, and they don't need any filter. They can emit the light in the color that they're supposed to be. But what does all that mean? It means that you get a lot purer color because it's not being filtered through colored glass. It's actually coming out, in this case, red. The light coming out is red versus this where the light coming out is white and it's being filtered through red glass. So you end up with that much purer, distinct color, and over time your colored glass can lose its color and your lights will end up looking more whitish than they originally did. The LEDs, because it's actually coming out as red light, will always remain that pure, distinct red. Bonus, these are regular LEDs. They're wired up in series to meet the required voltage demand. They differ from the LEDs that you use in your regular light sockets. That being that the LEDs you use in your light sockets have a converter or a rectifier, which is very similar to a cell phone charger. This changes the 120 volts AC into more usable DC for your cell phone in this case, but for your LEDs, a very similar system changes it for them on your regular lights that you put into your socket. On these, they're off of 120 volts AC. That's why you get the flashing and why they're dimmer than they could be, and why they're so cheap and so simple and flimsy.